Guys, do you want some sex education? Well, a simple advice is not to have sex. That's the education. Yes, marriage is relevant here. You do need to be married and then have sex because it's a natural occurrence. You have a wonderful relationship with someone, and then you open up this opportunity to bond to the next level, to share programming, to share emotional connection and memories, to have a risk of having a baby, even, and not really worrying about that because you know what you're doing. You're taking a risk now, and that's why it's so pleasurable. It's a risky shit. Uh, and even if you wear protection, you still again dealing with strangers. Basically, you're just looking for pleasure as a drug-seeking addict. You know, when you can have it easily yourself, you can masturbate. Figure out how to do that. I'm pretty sure both genders can do that somehow. And guess what's so cool about masturbation? The first forefront thing to talk about is the speed. Whenever you want, the bed is right there. You just do your thing. You just pull out some pictures with your tablet now. Everything is so convenient. I can't believe it that we have to argue about it. Oh wait, this video is sponsored by a lot of NPCs that say that my videos are pointless waste of time. Oh my god. If only they knew how to make arguments and how to talk to themselves first, instead of like, oh please guys, don't watch his videos. Oh my god, it's a waste of time. I will delete one of these comments in 24 hours. This guy told me I'm a troll. Basically, you don't have to take me seriously. Well, actually, I'm YouTube CEO, and you don't get to make a comment like that. I will allow you to have NPC one-liner, experimentation, but don't attack my title, because I don't think that's a legit move. All right, that you can do. We all have to respect each other's identities, not sexual identities. Sexual identities are nonsense of people just trying to avoid sex, just like being gay or lesbian. Is just trying to avoid the dangers of sex because it's just that bad. This is where it all started. The gay movement of like let's pull the dudes away from women because god damn it hurts to see nonsense. I have been exploring sex and looking at porn. Obviously, didn't experience it because there's no reason for me to be desperate about it. It doesn't happen naturally. So what doesn't happen naturally and requires you to put ridiculous amount of effort to actually achieve probably is not the way to go. Probably not a part of life. Probably not something you will ever master properly anyways. The best thing to do, just like with sex and war, equally as bad things, all right? So with sex, you are programming a human being. Again, you're making memories with them and having a chance of having a baby, which is a big commitment. And now someone has to take care of that shit. All right, it is pretty brutal. Take care of the woman and then the baby, and you have to have enough resources to do that. And you better be married at that point, because like you don't want a single mother, a mother that doesn't have self-esteem, that creates a murderer into the world, another NPC, then potentially a hostile NPC, and who knows how fixable that is. Like we're talking like really stupid things here, all right? Uh, that would happen if people just mindlessly have sex or war, killing human beings for no reason, and then making human beings for no reason. Those are very dangerous things. Life and death is not something you want to play with, but you can. That's the fun part about life. You can. You have the freedom to, and you can really love it if you want to. Love and freedom is something you have as a person, all right? So you can, but there, you will start seeing a bombardment of reasons trying to stop you from having sex and from going to war. There's going to be a bombardment of reasons. Things are going to be difficult. Like when you go to war, there's intense training. No one wants to go there to begin with, to be recruited. You lose all your hair, basically. You get so much fucking... you get basically a ruthless leader who's trying to tell you what to do and will get you killed anyways. You know, he doesn't guarantee that you will live. While will you live determines the amount of influence you're going to put into the world. And I mean, you want to live, right? For yourself and not for your country that doesn't even care about you. You're not going to protect anyone or anything. You're not going to be a war hero just by going to war. Despite how much people will, praise you for taking the risk. That's just... So yeah, I see people just lose their minds and they just die inside and they create babies who also are just dead creatures, essentially, but someone will have to deal with them. Someone will have to tell them of like, oh shit, I am dead. I have to kill my mom and dad now because I don't deserve to exist on this planet. This is really that bad. It's fixable when you deal with life. There's a way to, put the filter out the shitty ones and get the survivors and make sure they come up with some kind of strategy to figure out how to super filter the shitty ones. All right, so get the survivors to think with themselves of like, okay, how can we use human beings who have absolutely no reason to exist? They have to figure that out. This is why most people are just naturally imprisoned. I do feel like I have a reason to exist. Like, I have figured out how to generate love on my own. Potentially, I don't know. I would like to be a celebrity. I'm on a path to do that. I have defined myself as YouTube CEO, pretty high rank, right? So I think I win. All right, I figure out, and maybe I was just like super protected from sex and war, of both things that could have instantly killed me. And yet, here I am. Because I didn't have those things in my life, because I didn't get into fights with dudes, and I didn't even kiss a girl, I actually am higher level than anyone else, because making those moves unreasonably will put you in this emotional elevation that you don't really deserve, because you're making bad memories when you do that. You're gonna remember that for the rest of your life. What's your first kiss? What's your first victory in a competition with a dude? Like, you will remember those things because you will have to carry that burden and tell everyone about it. People will ask you questions like that. Just for the sake of self-esteem, just for the sake of being open and honest and emotional about your life experience. I'm not sure if I'll be able to actually keep this up, because, I survived for so long. I have to like give it up and find my own strategy. So just let's take the risk, man. Let's make memories with a stupid person, and let's beat up a dude, or just beat up a bunch of NPCs and go to war with them. I potentially can simulate this shit anyways, so I'm not sure if it's still threatening me in any way. But the problem is, my power level is pretty high. So people will put me into very awkward situations, as it happening right now with the stupid housing nonsense and the purge, the third stage of apocalypse, which looks like it's inevitable and whatnot. But I know it just filters NPCs and not me. I'm just being put under pressure, just like, you have to go to school. You just have to. The way you do it, it's up to you. But certain things you just have to do, like, again, earn money and educate yourself on how to escape the matrix, escape the unreasonable people who just want to enslave you because you're useless for the most part. So just because you get to live and breathe doesn't mean that your life doesn't suck balls and that you don't deserve that sort of outcome. So here you go. We're gonna begin sex education, guys. Also, I will touch someone's hand if they have freshly masturbated. All right, even if they stink, because if I can touch dirt or grass, I can touch somebody's ass. All right. I will respect people no matter how dirty their hands are and how weird they smell. All right, I will respect them. I will not try and find reasons to disrespect people. Like, that's not my way of life. To just outcast and disrespect people just to feel good about myself. But this is how NPCs work. You know, they try to find flaws in whatever you do, and they feel like they have a say into your life of some kind. Unfortunately, finding flaws comes at a great cost of disrespecting me because I fucking read comments. That's the difference. Alright? I see you. And I see you burning inside. This is me showing how a school uniform should look like. It's kind of the standard. But I'm gonna show you guys how it looks like over here, because what we're gonna do is, well, try and reach 2,000 with Facebook. Alright, so sex education aside, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's begin. Or rather continue our progress on pushing things to 2,000 milestone. Because I need that juice, man. Anytime I get a milestone, I get some juice that I can use, man. During my sessions of pleasuring myself and squeezing lemonade. It's very important. Alright. Funny thing is, you should be allowed, honestly, to look at pictures at little girls and not be judged. But by little, like, kind of teen age of like 14 years old, and not be judged that you're like a gross person or whatever, you're a pedophile, wannabe. That's not true. By the time I meet that person who's 14 years old, who looks into the prime of like fresh look of how they're gonna pretty much look for the rest of their life, and they might be the best looking at like age of 18, and you just want to capture that moment. You just want to capture how they grow up and all that shit, just to have a memory of that shit. Yes, it's a creepy thing over the internet, but look, you're just looking at pixels, bro. And by the time you meet a person, which probably is just gonna be 5 years later, or a long time later. For me, I never really met or dated a person, so I don't know how long it takes, to be honest. Because the waiting is still in progress. All right, no one is nice enough for me to even have a conversation. What are we talking about? Meeting, dating? Yeah. No shit, Sherlock. I don't think that shit exists right now. You have to prove me otherwise. Because, just like jobs don't exist because I don't get offers. If I don't get offers for jobs don't exist. Jobs are just like generic bitches that you have to, or generic gold diggers, You don't get a job because they want you to do everything. Find a job, convince that you need a job, convince that you're desperate enough to do crazy things, like backflips, and then dress up as a clown. You got the job. As a McDonald's little clown. This is how life works, man. It's terrifying, but you must understand, we didn't evolve that far away from, 100 years ago. We just got a little bit of technology and a little bit more people. If you combine technology with people, you get NPCs. How about that? We didn't go very far. We just spawned more NPCs. We have to find the real people right now. Desperately find the real people. And if you feel bad about this video, but you're still watching, you have to find the real person within yourself and start talking to yourself. Because goddammit, we're all fucking lonely right now. I know I am. Anyways, I have made a very peculiar move. This is not school. Well, I picked a random school, right? No, I picked a school that I know quite well. So here you go. We're just gonna look at it. But how am I gonna look at it if I have to click here all the time and suffer tremendous pain? I'll tell you what kind of pain I'm suffering here. Looking at Facebook. Alright, why am I not just scrolling down and seeing pictures? Because there's like 3 twists mixed in. Oh yeah, the snap out of existence is pretty powerful as well. Programming while you're having sex. It doesn't even matter if you ejaculate somewhere or not. You are still programming a person. You know, not just making memories, but literally programming either to be addicted to sex, or you literally making them under your control. Because intentions matter. Whatever you feel is going to be translated onto another person. They're going to vibrate the same way. In that sense. And I just feel like every time I watch porn, I'm like, this is getting deeper and deeper without me even, you know, seeing a weirder form of porn necessarily. It just like becomes psychologically deeper manifestation of insanity of what other people go through just to get money, just to shock people enough that, you know, they watch the video. They have to clean themselves tremendously. They have to appear attractive enough. There's all sorts of requirements, and on top of that, you have to add shock value. It's like every single video has to be a Mr. Beast video, which is crazy standard. You know, it's like semi movie standard. It has to have a story as well. It has to be compelling enough where you're fucking younger, older. Free use, my favorite. Getting gangbanged. Like, the shock value also sometimes comes from the story as well. So you have to like find all these crazy, and you have to find enough crazy people to do that sort of thing. Like, porn even doesn't make sense, but it accelerated into this, but it still makes no sense if you start snapping your fingers. A lot of people will just disappear. If you just snap fingers and tell that they're useless, they're unimportant. It's like a snapping of fingers, which is what these NPCs are doing when they're trying to talk to me. They're trying to snap fingers and see if it works. You know, see if I fucking die because someone doesn't like me, you know? And I get the memory of like, oh shit, I had sex with that person, and if they don't like me, maybe I don't have a purpose in life. This is that dangerous. Alright? The Thanos snap actually works. You know, perhaps someone like me will have the ability to Thanos snap people out of existence. And that's the maximum power level that you can have. You just make a statement and you break someone's heart. And I don't think a person can just magically fix it anymore. That shit's done. I have to do it with reason, because it's, you know, half death. You still know who broke your heart, so if you know, learn how to outcompete me, or stand up back again, but you have to have me on your mind the whole time, and my reasons. And you will be still programmed my way. So yeah, this is like a really deep and complex thing that people don't understand whatsoever. But that's the fun of it. Back in the day, we didn't understand how war works, and now we do because we have technology and we want to keep history alive, and we hate Hitler very much. And now we hate Putin, who just killing its own people, but yeah, it's not good. Just like coronavirus was not good. But it's in the apocalypse, so we're having some weird issues, some weird glitches in the Matrix right now. And again, we have to filter the NPCs who unreasonably will just sign up for whatever. You're just gonna sign up because someone else told you to, and you feel that you have no choice. The moment you feel you have no choice, you're gonna do stupid things. Unfortunately, I have to fight for my life now. Potentially at October, November, we're gonna deal with this stupid renovation thing, which is absolutely the devil's contract, basically. You're literally just selling your place for a little bit of a Christmas decoration on top. You know, you have a housing complex, and the Christmas decorations on top cost exactly as much as the fucking apartments inside. So you're literally just building new houses and taking the houses away from people. So, wow. Or just looting them if they're rich or whatever. That's unbelievable. That is unbelievable. And you do it because, well, people sign up for it. Enough people sign up for it. Well, we'll see about that. I'm not going to let that happen without my watch. Without me getting very upset on what's going on. Because if I have to move out, I'll just move back in. You know? Someone's gotta let me in. But yeah, like, when you have sex, you also create bonds, and potentially bonds with evil people who will control your life as well. And you feel good about it. So there's no escape. If you feel good about something, now there's no escape. Now you have to be more reasonable to be able to escape that and tell to yourself that this is actually bad, this person is evil. But it's so easy to convince yourself otherwise as well. Of like, oh fuck, maybe I don't have a choice. So yeah, we're dealing with a lot of NPCs right now, and they're increasingly more and more evil. So we're now going from sex to war, that means? I'm not sure. But it kind of looks that way. I mean, we shit out a bunch of babies. Now people stopped doing that. And now people are becoming hostile. So, I don't know. It looks that way. Call me Hitler, boys. No, I'm not gonna send armies. I'm not gonna create a war experience. I want people to be somewhat peaceful and find their place until they, well, die naturally. Just like sex and war, you actually die from natural cause of taking risks. Taking risk is what's gonna make you older. All right, it's gonna make you older because it's gonna consume your soul by giving you extreme experiences. Before you die, you're gonna have the most extreme experiences of other people dying around you. You know, other people telling you their sex stories before you actually go there and get into this fucking cult of like or porn, whatever. They're gonna start convincing you and telling you things and showing you things and how to do those things without any reason besides like you need money, right? You need that. You need that little thing. And if you genuinely need money, there's probably an exception that you can make, and some people can be saved. But overall, it's a really crazy thing that you should not do. Again, if you can masturbate your emotions out, first of all, no one's gonna get the juice, so people can feel bad about it. Also, you can just think of it as sex is illegal. You know, why sex is illegal? Again, before marriage, sex should happen naturally with a person that you truly love. It just happens naturally, just bond harder and harder, and you're just like, oh fuck it, let's take a risk. I'm not afraid to have a baby anymore. And now you start truly like relying on each other, and that sex basically is marriage. You know, like sex before marriage, like they come hand in hand. Whoever you have sex with, you're also married with. You're gonna care about them. And honestly, I feel another thing that's happening right now is like people are torn apart because they care about so many other people and they care about them inefficiently. I care about people very efficiently. You know, I having, fantasy sex, but that means I have control over how much I care about these people. Right? So there's so many people, so many entities all across YouTube mostly, but across the internet. Whatever I can find, I add into my collection, and it's a big deal. So basically, there's a lot of albums here, and there's a lot of photos who are posted. They're in the post section. And if you look here, it's like you're gonna start at 2019. So it's not where I want to land. The funny thing is, this is my name. So I have a street named by me somewhere in the town, and I don't really, I'm not really aware about it. I think it's kind of far away from where I live. So I don't know, man. I have to say this, even if you know where I live, you have absolutely no influence over me, unfortunately. Because goddammit, we live in a world in Deadlands, first of all, and in the most censorship-ridden place, which is called Europe. Congratulations. Come to Europe, please. There's infinite censorship. Alright? You will not be able to speak with anyone in coherent manner. Don't worry about it. I'm the only one. I'm the only one out of 10,000, let's put it that way, who are willing to do that. I could say out of 1,000, there's some genuine people who would be willing to talk in English. Would be willing. We are educated, alright? At least in Deadlands. But we're educated because we're just, like, half dead anyways. And we have nothing better to do than be educated, And we're also poor. So if you go to the photo section, you can start scrolling down. What's going to happen when you start scrolling down? It's lag. More and more and more. And beyond your wildest dreams amount of lag. There's a solution to Facebook nonsense in order to explore all the photos without a problem. Without even clicking a button. You interested? I will tap twice, and the command will start. I am able to, start scrolling things automatically, because goddammit, it's useful. Why is it not just a default thing that you can do with every single application or website? I don't understand, but here it is. There you go, guys. Enjoying yourselves? I'm not clicking anything right now. It's just going automatically and showing you things of, really bad things. I don't want to show you guys that much. Winter and fucking church. Who died? Who froze to death, bro? That is bad imagery, but this is where we started. So I'm gonna be exploring a school. The reason why I'm doing this is I got a reward for being the greatest fan of my personal school. So, I want to be a fan of other schools too. It's very exciting. Alright, maybe schools across the entire Lithuania, Let's fucking go. Probably not gonna be that desperate. Alright. But it's kind of exciting, I'm not gonna lie. There's some weird things you can find anyways. Or just the vibe, you can capture the vibe and maybe see some familiar faces. But yeah, this is kind of more of a meme and kind of to trigger people. This is how you would do a school shooting, by the way. Make a video about watching school photos. Again, the reason why school shootings are not appropriate is not because you kill people unreasonably, it's pretty bad. But you're also doing it in an unreasonable way. You can kill people by having sex with them. Duh! That's how you do it, bro. And start training. Start training now. All right. Watch photos and imagine that you're having sex with these people and improve your self-esteem so you actually do. It's at least more pleasurable, and no one really dies. You just get control over them. Very likely. All right. Very likely get them addicted to relationship with you, but you have to build your self-esteem and you have to have a purpose instead of just having guns and using guns like in a video game. All right? School shooters, kind of losers. School fuckers, now that's something else. That's next level. All right? Because there's a lot of NPCs who deserve it anyways and will just bow down to you. I have seen at nighttime there were a bunch of girls walking around, and two of them were so fucking drunk they just fell down and were trying to help each other out, but they were both drunk, drop dead drunk basically. So they were lying on the ground just enough to make me feel bad, to make me feel like shit, I have to go out there and, cuddle them up so they don't even have to go back home. They can just stay here on the ground where they would be very comfortable with. I just bring out some blankets, some pillows, and let's fucking cuddle. Let's whatever. I'm not here to sexually harass anyone. Now I definitely think sex is just strictly illegal and will make me so much more attractive, which is why people are attracted to gays and lesbians. Sex is very dangerous emotionally, so I'm just and also why people are attracted to churches. The celibate godlike creatures. Well, no, those are proven to be false, but that's what makes you a holy person. If you holding on yourself to find the right person that actually fits you and satisfies you, and for me, it's very difficult. The world is flooded, and you can say there's 7 billion fishes in the sea. You will find the right one. You just have to look around, open yourself up for opportunities, but there's a lot of 7 billion dangers in the world. There's as many people are increasing, especially if they're brain dead and they're just monsters, that then it increases the danger level as well. So I don't want to go outside and create opportunities, because most of those opportunities are going to end up badly if I don't invest proper amount of self-esteem to defend myself. So, the world is a very nasty place. Honestly, we're just back in the jungle until we spread this information and survive the apocalypse appropriately, as it's happening right now, and the purge is gonna soon start. But we haven't stopped burning resources for the sake of Russia, Oh, Russia. You know what Russia is? Is just as populated as Japan. If Japan started wars all of a sudden and everything inflated, we would question, what the fuck does that make sense? How does that make sense? Japan is like a fucking tiny island where anime girls can be spawned, but nothing else. Alright? How is that tiny island is influencing the rest of the world all of a sudden and creating unreasonable levels of inflation and attacked a country that has to defend themselves for a fucking entire year? How does that make any sense? Well, they have, a supply of really next generation equipment, while, Japan would be slightly behind that. But yet we have that scenario anyways, with Russia being a completely broken country from inside out, and yet they're just holding just perfectly fine. The war has not really started globally. They're just playing around at this point. They're just playing with dead inside people, I would say. We're just sacrificing them as a normal thing to do. Whoever gets dragged into war deserves to be sacrificed. Is just how it works. But we had COVID, we had the Russian problems. So now the thing is going to translate into Europe. And I'm still not sure what the simple solution is to the problem, because with COVID, you're just okay, I will stay indoors indefinitely. I'm very happy inside. All right, and not having human contact because humans are ugly and stuff and annoying. Especially they're super ugly with their masks on. Okay, look, this makes no sense. Like they're on stage with a mask on. You're not gonna make any memories. You're not gonna make anyone feel good. All right, it's just a terrifying thing to look at. Maybe don't do that. Also, all of these masks are fucking black. Like this dude actually, honestly, he looks the best right now. He looks genuinely fucking attractive just because he has a white mask instead of black. You know, yeah, you do need something black on to cover your mouth. You know, like you definitely need that if you just concede like that, or you create these sort of scenarios where these pictures are taken with high self-esteem. You probably should hide that. But, you know, there's traditions that kept on going despite them being instantly ruined by the vibe has been ruined, but people just keep going because they're fucking mindless idiots who don't have enough reasons to test. You have to test your reasons every time something changes. And you will figure out if it's appropriate to do something or not appropriate to do something. You have to work very hard. Otherwise, all the progress will be lost. Just like you playing a Super Mario game, you will spawn back all the way to the beginning if you fucking die. Alright, so please make sure that every move you make is not gonna result in death. You have to take risks very carefully. And only when you truly have to. The reason why these videos are not waste of time, of anyone's time, because it's not waste of my time. I need to make these videos to express myself, to just empty myself out of all the harmful things that enter my body. Just the vibes alone creates a negative experience on this earth that I have to express, which is a very positive experience of cleaning myself off. It's not showering or hygiene, it's a mental hygiene exercise of just trying to offload all of the information which seems to just be vomiting out of my mouth for hours and hours, non-stop, but I'm getting better at it, and faster, and stronger. So I can only do this one adventure. As you can see, we don't have much time left. But let's go through some sex education, boys. If you're having a question of like how did I do that double tap, there's a special program called Auto Hotkey that just does a lot of things, and I just showed you the code as well. Just tap a random button twice, and bam, we just going forward. It's so convenient. You have to find a precise speed because things can crash, or you will see the same photo replicated instead of moving to the next photo, which basically a bunch of glitches and crashes. So I found this sweet spot of 1000 frames, I guess, and it's going pretty well. But 1000 frames would be like 50 seconds. I don't know what's going on here. Alright, don't ask me. This feels like 1 second to me. What? Boom, boom. 1 second feels like. Anyways. So I'm gonna get some school experience randomly. Don't ask me why I'm doing this. Again, this is what school shooters should do before they, you know, worry about there's. I would want to talk to these people, you know. I'm okay talking to the most ridiculous people on the planet. I can't offend them more than they have been offended already. So the only thing I can offend is their self-esteem, you know. Maybe they shouldn't do what they're doing. Maybe there's a better solution or what they can do with their life. You know, that would be so much cooler. Not only just saving someone's life, but making them more productive and potentially just turning everything around and inspiring for something else to flourish. And they will have to be grateful and will submit to my powers if all they could do is just create more death. Like, you have to be grateful if I turn your life around. But don't tell them that until it's too late. Alright? Anyways, I'm very grateful myself that I went this far without taking too many risks. And now I see, like, absolutely, this is absolutely necessary. And yes, we had the COVID era where you have to stay indoors and you have to now buy very cheap food. You just have to buy as cheap food as you can get away with. And I was able to tighten my belt down to where I started. You know, I spent 20 euros on food and I still spent 20 euros on food. For me, there's nothing happened. All right, I just became smarter and more educated on how to not take risks and how to do whatever it takes to still live a good life, no matter what's going on outside. We're still gonna have 2 more apocalyptic things going on. I'm not sure, man. It blows my mind. The only thing I'm sure of is that I will get through this, alright? And that on the other side, I'm being weighted by the biggest celebrities there are, you know? That the sign from Ariana Grande was a pretty brutal sign that no one... Show me the more crazier coincidence. Show me crazier coincidence that happened that involves love for the future. Show me something like that. Because, goddammit, I think I took the cake. It's something no one would be able to believe in, but now I share a connection with Ariana that everyone can see, and their eyes can start bleeding now, and their brains can start bleeding by questioning of, like, why would she care about me? You know, why would this connection be a thing? What is going on? Well, you can start questioning now, because we're getting closer and closer to it. Alright, thank you next was the first sign. I'm sure there's something in between. And now we have a sign that can knock people out. A sign that I'm really proud of. And we're gonna get deeper and deeper into this. I'm sorry, guys. Alright. Fantasy world cannot be underestimated. Your dreams cannot be underestimated. You are interconnected with the people who still live and breathe because, you know, it's very rare to do so right now. And you can even choose which ones to, you know, try to relate to. Based on just what you want to do in life. You will be connected to a lot of people because you're going to grow in power anyways. You know, like, even just sitting in a kiosk and selling items, you will still bump into a lot of people and you can filter them out if you want. But you have to build a really good kiosk to, you know, attract people in the first place. You have to do everything properly. Otherwise, you're just gonna see people passing by and not really caring about you, which is just gonna remind you that you are a failure, and it's really bad. So there's a lot of people who need help, who need to be uplifted, who are descending into darkness, and who are willing to take someone's life. Either way. And right now, the sexuality plague that we're dealing with, and spreading all over the world and laughing at virgins, basically hunting down virgins, so we make sure that they have sex, that everyone's corrupted in a way. I'm sorry, bro. This is just another form of war, another form of destruction of society. We're just too stupid to catch up with how it truly works. Alright? There's a reason why marriage is sex. Sex has to come after marriage, after getting very, very close to someone. There's so many reasons for that now. Now I see it. But it takes a long time to figure those things out. Otherwise, you would be just like, oh, an ignorant fool who wants to do whatever they want. Well, you're an NPC. You do whatever you want. You just do random things without reason. You don't want to even connect to people or start reasoning with them to get better deals in life, you know? To come up with better ideas on how you can spend the love that people gave you, the money that helped you earn. You're interconnected, and being just a bully on the internet makes you the worst person we have ever seen, which is not a human being, which is an NPC. It's a useless person. If all of a sudden you picked so much love from other people just to survive, just to be talking shit onto other people, you have wasted everything. You just have proven that all the love that people gave you, you just want to waste it. And that makes you a really bad person. But hey, we're gonna find solutions to everything. Let's finish this video properly. Hopefully we hit 2,000. Alright, it should be possible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, I'm determined, guys. Let's finish this.
Yeah, that's for the United...
Keep in mind another thing, if you're not American, but even if you are, America is losing self-esteem dramatically. If you probably measured self-esteem of Americans, it's dropping in a free fall. It's dropping like Elon Musk's bank account, all the way to the ground. Why is it happening? Because, again, we're slowly untangling how dangerous sex actually is. Like, absolutely insanely dangerous. And no one knows how it works, truly. Like, science cannot understand the psychological damage that sex can do. It's literally a way to evolve a person. Evolution comes from sex, nothing else. At first, technically, yes, you share your DNA, but even while you're doing it, you're starting to match DNA that would create a human being. You know, you're programming each other to match the DNA that would create life. So you're programming each other to do so, right? Which is a huge commitment. And again, you're also damaging each other by saying to each other that, yes, potentially there's going to be a baby now. We're going to be addicted. We're just going down the rabbit hole, basically, with no return. And it could just ruin your life if you don't do it properly. In fact, people have to double check. Are you happy with your life? Have you made all the friends happy as well? Is everyone around you happy? And if the answer is no, you must not have a baby, because there's a problem that you need to solve. You have to, create a bubble of protection, of full protection for that person. Otherwise, the unhappy person is gonna take a steal at your vulnerable little life. Alright? An accident can still happen, especially when you're not watching. When all that you say is like, I want to feed my kids. I don't care about your kids, bro. You're just distracted. You're just more stabbable of a human being than ever before because you care about something else. I'm sorry, bro. Having kids is not an excuse to whine and complain. I am sorry. You made a decision. And if it's wrong, you'll pay the consequences. Pretty bad ones and brutal ones if you're really, really wrong. Child trafficking? Check, You paying ransoms? Oh, check. You paying for school and food for them and getting nothing in return but a person who just wants to rot in your basement? Check. There's a lot of problems that they're just kind of accelerating and will weed out a lot of people, and it's scary, but that's what life is all about. Life is very exciting. Every day you get to live, It's a thing. It's a celebration. Not very happy, so don't take it too seriously. But it's a serious topic. You have to think about it yourselves. Oh, by the way, quick rundown on abortion. Yes, you should be able to have abortions. But the other person who's supposed to be the dad also should have a say into it. If the dad is not existent, if a person just raped you and ran away, then yes, you have a full right to your body. But if there's a second person who actually cares about you and cares about having a baby, and would take care of that baby, then no need for abortion. But abortion is it's completely fair thing to have. We cannot again just let human beings come into this life for no good reason. Yes, we can employ them and do all these things. Oh, no, we can't. No, we can't. We can't give them love that easily. All right? The society collapses when it tries to do that. When it tries to give love to people who barely have meaning in life. All right? We have to be careful with that shit. I'm not encouraging abortions. You should lose reputation if you take one. And you technically lose reputation just by dealing with doctors and very dangerous surgeries in the first place. And yeah, it's a story that you need to save and everyone needs to know if you had an abortion, and that's about it. That's my stance. Very simple. You know, the most painful thing to know about schools is how useless they are in building emotionally strong people who can actually even talk, who can resist the nonsense of censorship that is happening in Europe. Like inside my country, I cannot talk to my own people. That is the worst thing that can happen to you. It doesn't matter what language I speak. Everyone should have high esteem of whatever I do. Whatever I do should be held on high self-esteem because we're surviving as a nation. We're just like 3 million people, and we have a song called 3 million, you know, and it's like our national anthem, and we're not proud of each other. It's like, that's really bad. It's a really bad position to be in, where I cannot talk to anyone and be happy about it. By the way, the dresses are a little bit fucking wonky. From this perspective, it's like fine, but it does look like a tablecloth, and very wide as well. Like again, if you compare this, like I'm not saying that they should be this short, but it looks fucking elegant and simple, right? I believe this is also a dress, not necessarily pants. So either one of these options are good. Doesn't look like tablecloth when you add such weird colors and design. Like, I don't like this, alright? It's not gonna make good memories, but honestly, this school, I don't know. It's a weird one. It's probably more weird people go to this school than the place that I went to. Fucking the place I went to fucking is oh look, there's a friendly top fan as well. Me also top fan. Thank you. Maybe you have to like type in comments as well to do that, but we'll see what happens, all right? We'll see what happens. I want to see if I get the status cuz it's horribly difficult to navigate. But damn, bro. You know, I collect pictures. I want to see what I can get. You know, I get to stare only at pixels at the screen for my self-esteem. I do go outside now. Doesn't change anything whatsoever in my life. Besides that, well, it does change something. I get to interact with NPCs and slowly like take more and more risks of like offending them and whatnot. And I should be able to handle that shit better and better, right? Again, by the way, the moment I said to myself, like, sex is illegal and dangerous, I'm like, wow, I'm so much more attractive now that I don't just chase sex or just chase money. I, like, need genuine connections with people, and I can prove that to some extent. Still kind of just go all into this. But it just makes me feel like, oh, that's what people want. They want to feel safe around me, and that's it. You know what's better than COVID masks? Double it. Fucking double it. Your eyes emit toxic radiation. I realized this is more funny than I thought. What is she holding anyways? What is going on? It's not even a microphone. I thought it was a microphone. It's like, what is that? Man, the vibes are just so off. COVID ruined everything except fucking Clown Fiesta that we get to see that people experienced. Honestly, that's probably the reason why I'm watching this stuff. The fucking comedic effect. Oh my god, there's some illegals. Look at that. Like actually looking normal instead of like this triangular nonsense, bro. Flapping in the wind and hiding the knees. Oh my god. Pretty sure if you make women look ugly, like bad things are gonna happen to you, bro. Especially when it's so easy not to do that. But I'm scared. Like, what if they look too sexy, man, in schools? That's, honestly, I don't have an answer to that. It's very difficult stuff. Again, because I have psychic powers, simply because I observe reality to such an extent, I'm just like, all of this is propaganda. Alright? So it's like the mask is not gonna protect you, it's gonna protect other people. You know, so if you have coronavirus, you have to wear a mask, basically. It's not even like propaganda, like I totally agree with this sentiment, but like you cannot just force everyone to wear masks. Just because you're reducing something 3 times. Here you're reducing something, what, 14 times? And here you're reducing something 3 times. So I'm really not keen on doing the final step, to be honest. But you know, there's a mass pandemic, and it's fashionable to wear masks at that point, or otherwise we're all gonna be scared. The reason why again I have psychic abilities and I'm talking about this because the idea of corona is false. It's just the idea of fear. You know, fear spreading, some kind of emotion spreading around across the world, and you know, it's kind of interesting that the rest of the world also gets affected. What happened in China? You know, usually what happens in China stays in China, but they have invented basically this virus that was able to just shock the entire world to the point where you're not supposed to show your shocked face, your gaping mouth, of how, wow, I see a person without a mask. Oh my god. Please don't show that face to me, man. Yeah, it's just fear. It's just fear that tears people apart, and it tears old people a little bit more than young people because young people don't know what's going on. So the fear doesn't affect them. Like it's just a natural way of fear ripping people apart and changing society because we just don't understand it at all. We don't understand spiritual aspects of the world because we don't let ourselves do that anymore. And trust me, fear does kill, fear does make you sick, fear puts you in a very, very compromising and terrifying situation. And the coronavirus, when it started, like it created such a fear, such level of fear that it's unbelievable to think that there's anything else going on than that. You know, it's you have to give a little bit of credit to that magical placebo effect because you don't know how deep the rabbit hole goes of placebo. It exists. It's scientifically agreed upon. Yet the rabbit hole just keeps going deeper and deeper because you just have no ability to actually test for placebo effects in extreme cases like these. Can there be a placebo pandemic is the question, right? Well, it's quite a question. Yes, there can. We just talked about sex. That's placebo pandemic. Maybe that's the end of the video, though. again, sex is also terrifying to people. Like, they want to stay away from sexually deprived people. They want to call them incels and whatnot, because it is dangerous to think that the only thing that person wants from you is that one thing, right? So you have to be able to pull that fear out of you. So you have to tell yourself that sex is just simply illegal, and you're not gonna pursue it. You just want to see beautiful people inspire you, and you want to interact with them, so you at least stay in their friend zones for a win-win situations to happen. And maybe you're gonna get married one day, but you just don't know. You have to put yourself in that mindset, because I am doing that right now. If you want to keep up, with me, because these are not videos to waste time. I am your friend, your best friend. You can see what I do every single day, what experience I have to consume every single day. I did not waste your time watching this video. I hope you understand that, because you did. All right? Don't feel bad about it. And don't spread your propaganda and disease in my comments, because I will fight back. I will bite back. I will check your channel too and spread my disease on your channel. What you gonna do about that if I retaliate? I'll do whatever it takes to not be broken down whatsoever. Alright? Whatever it takes to keep going where I'm going, because I just found a new path in life, and I'm very excited. So Corona happened, right? But it stopped, which is calmed down. It's just now part of history, and people are allowed to wear masks sometimes without being bullied anymore or being weird. But it's very scary. All right, so it calmed down. Same should go with the inflation. People are opportunistic right now to try and rip each other apart by asking for a ridiculous amount of money. And we have to shut these fucking idiots down and show that we're just gonna buy cheaper goods. And because we're gonna buy cheaper goods, because we're forced to do that, and we're not forced to make more money and buy more expensive goods, if we're gonna show that strategy, we're gonna be able to shut down inflation too, successfully. I think it should happen. I think we should survive the apocalypse. There's so many of us. But the only question is how many of us will survive. Because it's everyone is for themselves, honestly, in this case. But it's gonna be over. It's gonna, calm down. And we're gonna go to the next phase, unfortunately. So, there's no good news. It's just we're gonna go away from the inflation. One problem is not gonna take the cake and destroy humanity, but that's about it. That's all the good news I can say. Oh, and yeah, just a reminder, in your fantasy world, you can have as much sex as you want, and you can do whatever you want. You can be a woman in your fantasy world, or a man, or a dog, or a sheep, or a super NPC, because that would be an upgrade. So you should always dream about being a super NPC. And in the fantasy world, you can kill anyone you want. Now, when it comes to dreams, it's like somewhat a mix of fantasy and reality, so you have to respect certain things and not go to extremes anyways. But it's okay to try. No one's gonna get hurt. But there's better things to do when there's so many opportunities, right, presented to you in the dream worlds. But in the fantasy world, you just do whatever you feel like and see how it works out. Honestly, because I'm so influential, I'm like, maybe the stars aligned and now people need to send love to me really badly. So I'm just like harvesting that shit. Because, they're in my country, and I need to keep my self-esteem as high as possible to be able to achieve the ridiculous dreams that I have, and that everyone would believe in anyways, and everyone would want to have a person like that in their country to shine bright like a diamond. Yeah, sure. I'll give them a slice of the pie. there's little contribution towards my self-esteem from my country. Again, I'm a YouTube CEO, not my country's Mr. Beast or something. But we'll see, They still have plenty of chances while I live here, and I'm not getting kicked out like the idiots that they are. Trying to do that, it feels like. We went back all the way to the past where people were fucking normal and wore normal dresses that don't actually stand out as the stupidest design ever. God damn it, bro. It's still, the color is still shit, but it looks normal when it doesn't have all these fucking... It's like a crumpled mess that you can just put on the table, and it's like, well, your dress serves a different purpose now on my table. I need this tablecloth, unfortunately. Like, the self-esteem is really fucking being ripped apart. I don't know how long schools are gonna be able to exist. It feels like, as we're moving into the future, old technology, and school is technically a technology, a structure, it could just implode and just be destroyed. I think I'm gonna end you guys with this thing that shows you that, yes, indeed, schools are full of shit if they're training you to give blood to people. Excuse me? Where are the vampires? Is the only thing that actually sucks blood. Alright? You can't just put your blood into someone else's system. The only thing you can do is give good advice of how to live life. And you have to do everything yourself. Because you always have to do everything yourself anyways. I had to do everything myself. To an extreme case of everything myself. Which is like, I live in the shadows. The only thing I didn't have to do is just clean up my environment and figure out where to live and where to get money. Now I'm like super duper safe and very happy. And I want to keep it that way for as long as possible. Alright, it's only improve, not downgrade, because goddammit, I wouldn't be comfortable at all downgrading anything here. It doesn't just automatically put me on a high horse, it puts me on a treadmill to work very hard to be able to break through the odds. But like, giving blood is not gonna save a single person, bro. You're not supposed to feel happy about it. Giving semen also doesn't save anyone, doesn't create life. Alright? This is not how life created. Life is not created artificially. Life is not saved artificially. It's impossible to do that. It's just gonna create deranged things, which is AI capable of generating deranged human beings with 6 fingers or whatever. No matter what you're gonna do, you're just gonna get a shitty result that feels eerie and nonsensical, that you have to fix yourself. Fix by yourself, unfortunately. And even if we succeed in making something artificial, it will feel very cheap and will come out of nowhere anyways. It will have still zero purpose and zero application unless you somehow still pour enough affection towards that thing. But how are you going to pour affection if you haven't created it? If you just snapped fingers and you got a random picture on your screen? This is tough. Very tough stuff, man. Now we're playing with very complicated things. And again, you can't just sit here, not know what the fuck is going on. You just give yourself away and who knows if it actually works. Like, science can try and convince you that it worked out, but you will never know. You'll never know what impact you had to society just by obeying the rules and doing whatever you're told. But that's the whole fucking indoctrination system. It's not about giving blood, it's just making you submissive on whatever doctors say to you, on whatever medical science says to you, and now you're hooked into really, really bad life. Because the moment you're hooked in giving doctors your self-esteem, you're done. You're on the wrong side of the war, alright? You're just done. This is literally technically a war between society and doctors, stealing their self-esteem. And we're not supposed to give them, just be submissive to them. They will get it naturally, technically, by saving people's lives. But overall, we're not supposed to just be submissive to that and be happy about it when we have absolutely no education that could be even given to us to explain how blood transmission is supposed to help people, instead of advice, instead of proper education, of social education, which you don't get in schools. So anyways, send me your blood, guys. Maybe it will help you watch my videos when you're, relaxing on your chair, half empty, You want to fill up with my advice instead. I'm sure my advice is going to give you plenty of energy, bro. But no, like, you regenerate yourself. Your body regenerates. So you just have to live a healthy life. And there's no problems. You have immune system. You have all the blood cells you need. And you can fight those fucking diseases and all that shit. But hey, it's good to know that before coronavirus, we had this going on. Medical science was conjuring up a few demons here and there, didn't they? And probably they can take the cake for all the other apocalyptical things. I just haven't figured out how did Russia got sucked into this medical cancer? Is it medical surgery to go to war? Yes, it is. When you get damaged, medics are there to help you. So you go back to your country damaged and morally demoralized, but at least someone saved your life because you were bleeding. Yeah, this is bad. All right. Don't feed demons your self-esteem. Don't let them do things that you don't understand what impact it has, because you're just losing influence for free. What the fuck is that? The only thing you get is like a fucking smile on your face and you feel like you helped. That's what an NPC does. Alright, bye.